Well, greetings once again, dear folk of St. Elizabeth's. We're in this final lead up to the great celebration of Christmas, and it's always a time of joy and families coming together, all sorts of good things. But we're aware that for many people this season also holds a sense of real sadness and loss. And so in the last few decades, we've seen the emergence of something which is a form of service called a Blue Christmas service, which is an interesting thing because it's recognizing that there is a sense that Christmas is a blue time for some people. And of course, there was already in the very first Christmas a mixture of joy and sadness. We can see Mary's joy. It pours out in the words of the Magnificat that we're familiar with. But in the midst of her being overwhelmed with being the mother of Israel's Messiah, she then, after her time of purification was over, about 6 weeks into Jesus' life, she and Joseph went to the temple in Jerusalem to make the offering for purification. And there, the old man Simeon met them, and he prophesied over this baby. And amongst the things that he said was a word to Mary saying, "And a sword will pierce your own soul also." So there was already a sense of there's going to be some pain about being the mother of this child. Now there are many paintings and sculptures of the Madonna, Mary the mother with her baby. But Michelangelo sculpted the Pieta, which is this depiction of Mary cradling the dead body of Jesus after they'd taken him off the cross, and the sense of her mother's sadness and loss at this awful, public, shameful crucifixion of her son. But it's right there, at the moment of Jesus' first childhood, with the words of Simeon saying, "A sword will pierce your own soul as well." So there is a place in the nativity story for sorrow and loss. And yet even that, of course, is gathered up into the greater story that the body of Jesus, taken down from the cross, is not the only end to the story. There's resurrection, there's hope, which is born on Easter Day. And we hold the two together in our Christian faith, the joy of resurrection, but also the experience of sharing in the ministry of Jesus, who was, one of his titles was the Man of Sorrows. And so we hold these two deep notes together at the time of Christmas. And though we won't be having a Blue Christmas service in St. Elizabeth's, I want to use this final midweek talk before we go into Christmas as an opportunity to just recognize the sadness that this season holds for many of our parishioners in this congregation, and that the Lord gives us room to bring our sadness as well to the Nativity, even as he reassures us in the Nativity that this child is the light of the world and that darkness cannot overcome what he has come to bring to the world. And so may the Lord of hope sustain us all this Christmas.